In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the KOB section of the content revenue projection template. In the previous video, we went through the Start Here tab and how to fill in the numbers there and what each one of those means and why they're important. In this video, I'm going to show you how to go through and fill out the KOB section, discuss why parts of this are extremely important to get right, and go over how this section is going to help you inform your content plan in the future and how it helps to fill in the final dashboard sheet also. To start off, let's review KOB. KOB stands for Content Opposition to Benefit. It's an acronym that was created by someone in the early 2000s. And the idea is that when you're reviewing each keyword, you're looking at how hard is it for me to rank in that spot versus how much potential upside am I going to get when I do rank in that spot. So traditionally, a lot of the way that this has been structured has been to look directly at the potential traffic upside. As we know, none of us are in the business of trying to generate traffic or in the business of trying to generate money by providing a useful service or software. So the idea of this sheet is that as we enter our keyword research into column A and fill out the other 5 columns here highlighted in yellow, just as we did in the last tab, in the Start Here tab, we will start to get calculated for us a priority score by value and volume for each keyword. At the end of this sheet, what we'll have is a list of keywords that are all priority scored, the higher the score being the more important the keyword. And this will allow us to make decisions on what keywords we should write for, independent of just looking at traffic or just looking at whether it's bottom of the funnel, but be able to merge both of those things and make smarter decisions on why we should be writing for a particular keyword and how that is going to affect our overall strategy. So let's go through these 6 yellow columns here that you'll be filling in. So the first is keyword, which is pretty self-explanatory. We'll look at how to do quickly some keyword research here. This won't be an exhaustive video on how to do it in every tool or any tool, but just a quick download of some keyword research, and we'll plug some of it in just to take a look at what that actually looks like when you are doing keyword research. The second yellow column here is intent to buy, or keyword intent in brackets to buy. So every keyword, we want to make a decision on what is the intent behind that keyword. Is someone likely to buy? Now, this is probably relatively familiar. This is going to be closer to putting things in context of top of funnel, bottom of funnel, etc. You could almost mentally switch out this intent to buy to funnel stage. The next column we have is volume. So that's volume of searches per month. How many people search for this keyword in Google every month? All of the keyword research tools will have this, as they generally will have the next 2 columns, keyword difficulty and CPC for each keyword. So keyword difficulty is a score given to each keyword, which is designed to give you an idea of how hard it would be to rank for that keyword. Generally, the closer to 100 that keyword is, the harder it is. The closer to 0, the easier it is to rank for that keyword. CPC is self-explanatory. Most of you will already have seen this. It's the cost per click for the keyword if you were to pay for that keyword in Google Ads. Because we're doing content research or keyword research for content here, you won't have to pay for that, obviously, when you rank in the first results or when you rank in Google at all. However, this is a good way of judging, the relative popularity of the keyword or importance of a keyword or the perceived importance potentially of a keyword by how many people are bidding specifically for that keyword. It also helps us with the next column, which is traffic value. The traffic value is a way of estimating the amount of money it would cost to get the same amount of traffic to your keyword if you were to just spend your time setting up Google Ads and driving people to your content through Google Ads alone. This strategy obviously is not something that I would recommend in any long term. It's here basically to give you an idea of the relative value of the keyword once you rank in the first result. So that's the 6 yellow columns. These are the ones we'll be filling in, and I'll show you exactly how I grab those numbers very soon. So let's take a quick look at the white columns. The white columns, we have priority score by value and volume. Ordering this from highest to lowest is how we know what order we are going to write content in. Once we have all of our metrics entered in. Traffic potential. Traffic potential is a simple calculation that tells us how much traffic would we get for this keyword if we were to rank number 1. Now, this data here isn't correct. It's all dummy data that's been thrown here, so you'll have to ignore this. A volume of 500 and a traffic potential of 2,000 doesn't match up. So we're all just got dummy data. When we pull some real data in a moment, you'll get a better idea of what this means. Next, we have minimum links needed. What we're saying here is we would need at least 2 links from other relevant websites to this particular piece of content for us to rank at very minimum. Now, it could be more, it could be 10, it could be 15, it could be just 3. It could be less, it could be 0 for whatever reason. Maybe your content really nails the mark and Google loves it and it's 0. What we're trying to do here is just provide an idea of how many links are going to be needed, because the next column here is link cost. And we're basing link cost on roughly $150. And we're saying if you were to engage in either buying links or paying someone to help you do outreach or doing PR or whoever you're going to generate links back to your specific piece of content that matches this first keyword, we are estimating that the cost of each link is going to be $150, which means if you're going to have 2, it's going to cost you roughly $300 to rank this keyword after all the writing and it's published. And next we have monthly leads. And monthly leads is saying, well, if we get 2,000 in traffic, if our conversion rate is the 1% that we said it was previously, then we expect roughly about 2 leads. 2 leads per month. If we are to convert 2 leads per month and we convert, however many we convert, whatever our percentage is, then we would say, well, how much monthly revenue can we expect from this keyword if we were to rank and get those 2 leads per month? And the data says here that we're going to get roughly $477.60 in lifetime value out of this keyword every month. So one more. Okay. So let's run through this one more time conceptually very quickly before we go into the keyword research. In this KOB tab, I'm looking to do my keyword research and enter all of my keywords in here that I plan to rank for, or that I plan to go after in this content sprint potentially. As mentioned previously, I would recommend no more than about 50 keywords and 100 as a complete upper limit. Having 300 or 400 keywords in here, as you can see I have here for dummy data, is going to be excessive, and I think you won't be able to keep up with most of that. The best thing you can do is to keep this short and sweet and more prioritized, and then over time add keywords as you rank for things. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our keyword research, and we're going to paste all in our keywords and our data into these yellow columns. Once we've done all that, all of these metrics will be calculated for us, and we will know that if I was to write content for keyword 334, I would know that I'm looking to get a potential traffic of 2,000 per month from that keyword. I will need at least 2 links, which will cost me $300 to buy or to acquire in whatever way that I do acquire those links. When I do acquire those links and rank number 1, I can expect on average about 2 leads per month that come through this piece of content. And the monthly lifetime revenue that I generate from those 2 links based on the sales rate and the lifetime value of customers that I entered in the previous sheet is about $477.60. So that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at how does each keyword track back to revenue, and how do we prioritize keywords, not based just on traffic and not based just on difficulty or whatever, but based on a mixture of how important is it for the business in terms of the intent, the revenue, and how easy it is for it to rank based on the difficulty and the potential traffic and etc. that we could get through it. So trying to make smarter data-backed decisions based on numbers that we have both offered from our other tools and numbers that the tools that we do our keyword research with provide to us. So let's look at the keyword research. Now, you may or may not have a tool to do this. There's a number of tools to do this. The main ones would be Ahrefs, as you can see here, SEMrush or SEMrush, depending on what you prefer to call it. And I would say probably Ubersuggest is another favorite. Now, each of these are going to charge different pricing and etc. to be able to do this research and pull this down. Whatever one is fine. It doesn't matter which one you go with. Just go with one that you're comfortable in using and do your keyword research there. Now, for this particular example, I'm going to use Ahrefs to input a little bit of data here that I have previously prepared. And when or if you sign up for Ahrefs, you would see something like this in the Keyword Explorer. The idea is that you're looking at Google, you would put in your keyword, inventory management software, potentially. You would hit search and it would generate something for you like this. All this data in the keywords. The good news is you don't have to go and copy paste all this data in to your spreadsheet. You can do this en masse and then download everything into an Excel sheet and paste it over from there. So you can see all this here. There's quite a lot of data. What I've done previously is prepared a demo list for you with 9 keywords in it that we can take a quick look at. So all of these tools will have similar functionality in similar ways to be able to do this. You could definitely find this in a lot of the tutorials that these tools will already have, or a quick tutorial online. Alternatively, if you would like me to help you with that or provide one for you, I'm more than happy to do so. Just reach out and we'll see what we can do. So you can see here that I've done a little bit of keyword research. There's some data in here, etc. What I'm going to do now is export all these keywords to Microsoft Excel. Open up Excel here, right? And you can see that I have quite a lot of data here. Well, not quite a lot, but I have enough here to be able to enter into my sheet. So what we're going to do here is we're going to copy and paste our keywords in. Ooh, ignore that one. There we go. Keep our formatting alive. There we go. Just get finished here. So now you can see that I've got the keywords pasted in. We've got something with actual real data in here. Next thing we could do here is go back to our Excel sheet and pull in the keyword difficulty. So difficulty will be keyword difficulty. You can see here, I can go and paste that in here. That fills in those columns. You can see how these numbers are changing over here in this priority score already based on just changing the keyword difficulty. I can do volume. Now, what you would have seen here, over here, if I go back a little bit, is I am able to choose a country. And most tools will have the same thing. And in our demo here, we've chosen the United States, which means that the data we get here out of volume here will be search volume per month. So I can copy that and I can put that in to volume here. See, these numbers have changed all over again. CPC, I can paste this into here. And traffic potential, the last one here. There we go. Traffic potential. There we go. So now what we've done is we've filled in most of these. So you don't have to actually paste in traffic potential. I have done that for this. Traffic potential can also be calculated by taking some rough numbers that we have put on the Start Here tab. If you recall, we looked at these position 1 CTRs. You can take those numbers there, and as we have in a formula here, and paste that in here. Now, this may or may not be off. As I said previously, the tools estimate this, so you may or may not be comfortable with their estimate, or maybe the tool you use doesn't have an estimate. If not, you can use the formula that we have. Otherwise, you are more than welcome to paste over everything here. Also, but now I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to leave that. I'm going to paste that in. And we'll get some different numbers here. So you can see all these numbers have changed again. Now, the one thing that I do want to do when I do go through all this is I want to delete all that. You can see as we delete intent here, we do not have any priority score. What we so far have done is we've got our keywords, we've done our keyword research, we've downloaded it into Excel here, and we've just pasted it all in verbatim. We've pasted the volume in from From here, we've pasted difficulty in from keyword, difficulty in here from keyword difficulty. We pasted CPC in and traffic value. Sorry, you haven't quite pasted traffic value in. Traffic value has been calculated for us. Some tools will give you traffic value if you, as with the traffic potential, some tools will not give you traffic value when you download one of these. If not, you can see here that we have a handy dandy formula for you to be able to paste this in. If you would like to do that, if not, then you are more than welcome to just, if you do not want to use the formula and the tool that you use gives you traffic value on an export, you are more than welcome to just paste it in here based on what the tool says. Because not all of these have the export that I have particularly right now doesn't have an export for traffic value. We are going to use the calculations that we've got in here, which essentially is taking our traffic potential, my CPC, and calculating here what that potential value is, which is all that most of these tools are really doing anyway. You can see minimum links needed has been filled in also. And so has link cost. Monthly leads has changed significantly, and so should have monthly revenue. So what have we done? We've pasted in our new keywords. We've got all of this data that we've pasted in. These last two columns here, we've either pasted in when the data was available or used the formula that is already in the sheet. And we've let the rest of these columns calculate themselves. Now, from here on, the only thing you've got left to do is to look at each keyword and judge it by intent. So here's where you see things will change. So previously we had moderate in here. So let's change all these quickly to moderate and see how this changes the data. So inventory management. We have an inventory management software tool. We're looking to decide what we're going to write, and we're looking to make judgments on keywords based on the volume and the intent of the use behind it. Now, inventory management would be a low intent keyword, in my opinion, of somebody going to buy the tool right now. Would not be a bottom of the funnel keyword. It would be definitely a very top of the funnel keyword. The potential reasons you would search those two words together could be quite high. So I put that potentially at very low or low. You can make a judgment decision here, but I'd say, let's say very low. Inventory management software here, however, is exactly what we do, right? So I would say that's probably high instead of moderate. Warehouse inventory management software. This could be a specific type of niche that we specialize in. I could put that at very high. Inventory management software for small businesses. Maybe we're not great at servicing small businesses particularly, although we do have some options for them, but it's not our strength. We're better at servicing businesses that are quite large. So we might leave this at moderate right now because that's the business that we're in. We know who is our customer. We leave that. Inventory management system software, again, pretty similar to this one. I'd probably put that as relatively high right now. Inventory management software for e-commerce. Again, maybe this is something that we're good at. Maybe it's something we just actively stay away from. Maybe we put that at low. Maybe we plan on developing that out or going after that customer base later. So we can put that at low or even very low. Barcode inventory management software. So potentially this is a feature that we have, and we want to put it at high and or very high because we're quite good at this. This is where we excel at. Inventory management software in Excel, we would put that at low or very low. Whereas software solution, we don't want to provide that. We don't provide that. We want people to buy our stuff, and it doesn't plug into Excel. It's cloud-based. Inventory management free software. We're not free, but potentially we have some features that people can get on a freemium model. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. It's up to you to sort of make the judgment. Generally, free things are best left at very low, if not eliminated completely, because people looking for free stuff aren't generally going to buy. The best way to grab these type of people in the long run is through education of how to do things, and then sort of inserting your software into those conversations tactically, rather than trying to convince someone who doesn't have enough money to pay to buy the software. So you can see how all of these scores have changed here. I can change this. Let me change this one again from very low to very high. We have 477 to 668. So you can see how this modifier affects our priority volume. So what do we do now? Well, we organize by Z to A, right? And we go, all right, warehouse inventory management software. We said previously that this is a keyword that might represent something that we specialize in or that we're very good at. Our priority score for that is 4,401. Our intent is very high. The volume is 2,200. Our traffic potential is 8,100. Now, the reason that this might be bigger than that here in this case is that these tools calculate traffic potential. Don't just calculate ranking number one for this keyword, but for all the keywords you might rank for if you were to rank for this. Every page in Google's organic results ranks for multiple keywords, and therefore there's a traffic metric to be added up to that, which is why this number will be bigger than that in many cases. But moving on, we can see the difficulty is 39. So it's up there in terms of things. It's definitely close to, being on the 50 point. I would say that 39, 40, 50 point is quite high, and you would want to be very competitive in this scenario. And I think we can see over here that judging by the CPC, the traffic value for that, and then the minimum links needed, that we've got enough information to basically say, yes, it's quite competitive between these couple of metrics. We can see that bears out really, really obviously. So if we're going to write this, we'd have to figure out what we're going to write. And then once we published it, we'd have to figure out, okay, what's it going to cost us to rank this in number one? Well, this is saying here that we're going to need roughly 37 links. If we got those 37 links at an $150 cost average, which yours could be lower, yours could be higher. You may not need 37 links, etc. Just to give us a direction, is going to cost roughly around $5,000 to get there. Okay, now let's see. Okay, that's expensive. Add on the fact that we've got to write it. That costs a lot. Go to the next. We could get 8.8 leads for that per month. So let's say 9 leads is a round out. Okay, cool. 9 leads is good. Lifetime value we would get of that per month is $2,101.44 in lifetime value. If of those 8 leads, we converted over here, if we get back over to our Start Here tab, 20% of those leads, right? So, okay, it's going to cost us at least $5,000, $5,500 to write it and get it published. Let's say, pretend it's $6,000 just to make the maths easy to write and publish this. But when we do, LTV of a client we get through that once we rank there is $2,000 a month. Well, the LTV of that content is, a client of that content essentially is $2,000 a month. So, all right, well, once we rank number one, it's only going to take 3 months to make our money back. I mean, this could be more out of month one. You never know. This is just, we're just running on averages, and in the time it takes to rank that, we could definitely improve both. We could definitely improve both this conversion rate from 1% to 2 potentially to make those leads higher, and this from 20 to 25% potentially. And that could definitely make these numbers more attractive. But we start to get a picture now of, hey, what's my potential revenue upside here? This looks expensive and this is scary until this bears out and you go, okay, that makes sense, because all I got to do is write it, and I don't have to buy $5,000 worth of links straight away. I can buy or pay for someone to do outreach for, or get PR or whatever. And that might only cost me $1,000, and then see where I land. And then, $300 or something, and then see where we land. As I'm doing that, I'm still producing other content. And that producing of other content helps this content to rise too, because we're producing stuff around the same thing. So you can see how this overlapping Venn diagram of, as I produce more stuff, the stuff that I have produced gets more powerful, and these costs don't generally always work out the same. Then things start to work out cheaper. I start to rank faster. I start to gain more momentum in Google's eyes. As I then also learn what makes my customers convert, and pass that on to the sales team, or get that info from the sales team and pass it on to the marketing team to change the website and how we try to get people to convert, or what we produce to get people to convert, then that can change these numbers as well. If I'm able to rank in number one, even if it takes me 6 months to get there and I pay this full $5,000, I've only got to stay there for 3 months to make my money back. The likelihood is, if I get to number one, I'm very likely to stay here for a year or more. It's very hard to get to number one, but for that reason, it's also very hard to be knocked off number one generally. So if I'm doing number one for this very specific thing that we're very good at and we're good at converting for, generally, first of all, the conversion is better for that sort of thing on the sales team side, then this becomes a far more attractive scenario. Even though the short-term ROI is not good, the long-term ROI becomes very obvious. So potentially, if you wanted to, you could almost add another column here and multiply that by 12 months or something if you were to rank there. But I don't want to create an extra metric that we don't need. So see how this actually starts to fill out and starts to give us some idea. Now, as with everything, content marketing, this will take time. This will take some focus. This will take more money to rank. You don't just produce content generally and have it hit number one, especially not in a competitive market. But you're able to now show monthly upside versus one-time cost to rank. The upside. one-time cost to rank. One-time cost to rank, once I rank, I stay 12 months, potentially here or longer, because I'm number one, because I got momentum, because I get more links naturally, because I'm number one now, etc. This looks really good. Even though, yeah, okay, maybe for the rest of this year, from July to December, we're going to be in debt for this particular part. But you're able to choose now, very strategically, what is going to be important. So that's a really quick summation, I guess, or maybe a long summation of what we're looking at on the KOB sheet, why this sheet's important, what you should be doing to fill this sheet out. Now, very quickly, a few top-line caveats, which I've mentioned a few times, but I just really want to go over quickly again. Keyword research, this is not a foolproof system. You want to make sure you do take a quick look at this and go, hey, do we really want to be producing this? A great example might be, say, let's pretend that for whatever reason, the priority score for this inventory management free software ended up at 1,000. And that would put this inventory free software here, above maybe some other things which might be more important, which are more important because, although we may not convert a lot of these people, we might convert those people and have a real use case versus free when no one will pay. So this sort of thing is a great example. When you're doing this, still make a judgment call. Don't just blindly follow this number. Still really think of this intent and matching it to the keyword, because that does affect this number. And when the number comes out, just when you go, before you go to things, let me quickly look at the number. Let me see, if that number makes sense with what people might be looking for in this scenario. And that is about it. As I said before, if you would like more info on this, if you would like some help around doing keyword research, by all means, reach out. Any more information, FAQs and stuff, we will endeavor to update this video and or any written material that comes out with this moving in the future to help you to fill this out and be able to choose what you're going to write and be able to be informed by real numbers that are going to make a difference and an impact to the business, rather than the publish and pray method where you just get a list of keywords, you look at potential volume and you just start writing. In that case, we go Z to A here. Inventory management would be the first one you'd start with because of its volume, and that would just be no good to you. Or you might do like the high volume, low difficulty angle, which a lot of people like to do as well. And that could be, 12,007. And this could be something that's off the wall, like what is inventory? What is inventory in software? It could be some really off the wall search thing, which also doesn't make sense. So no matter what way you just prescribe on doing this sort of stuff, there's always a level of like, you can trust the numbers, but don't trust them too much. With that said, I'll leave it there. Any questions, please reach out again. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.